Chapter 3581. Run, run, run. The leader of the Giant of Light tribe roared. The leader of the Light Insect tribe roared too. The 9 pinnacle experts of the Giant of Light tribe couldn't do anything to the lady in red from the Dragon Palace. The trump card of the Light Insect tribe, the condensed insect deity to attack the Dragon King, had strangely killed 1/5 of them. There was no way to fight. Run, run for your life. The leader of the Giant of Light tribe and the rest were exceptionally embarrassed. Swoosh. Wang Xian continued to lock on to the Giant of Light from behind and quickly arrived before him. Seeing that the insect deity couldn't withstand Wang Xian, the Giant of Light revealed a tinge of despair. "I'll fight it out with you." Knowing that he couldn't escape, the Giant of Light shone brilliantly. He turned into a ball of light and charged towards Wang Xian with all his might. He knew he would definitely die this time. Die. Wang Xian revealed a cold expression when he saw the attack before his death. This attack wasn't even as strong as the attack of the insect deity from the Light Insect tribe. Such an attack didn't affect him at all. Rumble. Wang Xian waved his dragon claws and injected a gust of energy into the 5 elements grindstone before blasting it directly. The terrifying collision caused the Giant of Light's body to be sent flying backward. His body broke apart and all signs of life vanished instantly. Seeing this, Wang Xian revealed a cold smirk as he fixed his eyes on the other Giant of Light. "If this goes on, all of our disciples will die. Set up the defensive barrier and buy us a second." Seeing another expert being killed, the Giant of Light's heart trembled violently as he roared loudly. "All right." The leader of the Light Insect tribe and the Sacred Dragon King could also see the current situation. If they continued to escape, more and more experts would be killed. The more experts were killed, the lower the possibility of them escaping. Wang. Welcome to the death space that belongs to you. However, at this moment, the entire world suddenly changed color. In the surrounding area, incomparably huge pillars suddenly appeared. There were 9 pillars, and each pillar had an incomparably huge divine dragon entrenched on it. The divine dragons were divided into 9 attributes: metal, wood, water, fire, earth, wind, thunder, light, and dark. The 9 attributes intertwined and formed a space, a sealed space. Similarly, this space also possessed a terrifying offensive power. What is this? The sudden rise of the 9 dragon pillars shocked the Holy Dragon King and all the powerful warriors of the 3 major tribes. They suddenly had a bad premonition in their hearts. It's an ambush. The Dragon Palace has set up an ambush array here. They are purposely leading us in this direction. The body of the Giant of Light clan's patriarch trembled. He vigilantly scanned the surroundings, sensing the surrounding space. At this moment, the divine dragons on the 9 dragon pillars roared in unison. They spat out torrents of 9 different attributes and bombarded them. Damn it, damn it. At the same time, in the territory of the God Shepherd clan, the disciples of the God Shepherd clan were killed, causing the experts of the God Shepherd clan to stand there with embarrassed expression. Suddenly, the leader of the Black Fog spirit race saw the situation on the AI, and his face changed. His shocked voice attracted the attention of the experts and disciples of the corpse eaters and God Shepherds in the surrounding. It was definitely not a small matter for the leader of the Black Fog spirit race to be so shocked. Oh no, the Sacred Dragon bloodline, the Giant of Light clan, and the Light Insect tribe have been attacked by the Dragon Palace. The other party is very strong, and they are no match for them at all. The leader of the corpse eaters, the leader of the God Shepherd clan, look at the message on your AI. It's from the Holy Dragon King. The leader of the Black Fog spirit race said with an ugly expression. What? His words caused the expressions of the surrounding experts and disciples to change drastically. The Dragon Palace was attacking the Sacred Dragon bloodline, the Giant of Light clan, and the Light Insect tribe? How was that possible? They had just attacked the nest of the God Shepherd clan, and now they were attacking them? And the Holy Dragon King and the others were no match for them? How did the Dragon Palace move from the God Shepherd clan to the Holy Dragon King's side in an instant? The Dragon Palace must have some powerful treasures, and they must have paid a lot of resources and treasures. Such a long-distance teleportation was also a huge consumption for the 6 great clans. Yet, the Dragon Palace had such an ability. They broke through the defenses of the God Shepherd clan's Grotto Heaven and immediately teleported to our previous position. The treasures that the Dragon Palace has must be terrifying. They must have obtained a very powerful Dragon King's inheritance. The leader of the Corpse Eaters said with a sullen expression, "Not good. Patriarch, I've searched for information on the Dragon Palace's attack on the sacred dragon bloodline and the other two races. I found that many divine dragons and giants have fallen from the sky. Many third-order sovereigns were killed by them." At this time, an expert from the Corpse Eaters roared in shock. "What? Third-order sovereigns from the Holy Dragon King and the other three major tribes have been killed?" This sentence caused everyone's expression to change once again, and all of them darkened. They also immediately searched on the universe AI. At this moment, the AI was in an uproar. The news of the Dragon Palace attacking the sacred dragon bloodline, the Giant of Light clan, and the Light Insect tribe had completely exploded on the AI. The 6 major tribes had gone to destroy the Dragon Palace, and this matter had attracted the attention of all the experts and disciples. The sudden attack of the Dragon Palace had been posted on the AI by the experts and disciples of the Solitary Heavens City, and it caused a huge uproar. Especially when they saw the divine dragons and giants falling from the sky, they were even more shocked. According to the news from the Solitary Heavens City, there were already 5 to 6 third-order sovereigns killed. As for those first- and second-order sovereigns, there were at least 100 of them. They looked at the information on the AI, and their bodies trembled violently. Luring the tiger away from the mountain, luring the tiger away from the mountain. The Dragon Palace is luring the tiger away from the mountain. The leader of the God Shepherd clan roared, luring the tiger away from the mountain, but the problem was that the Dragon Palace had succeeded. The leader of the God Shepherd clan immediately sent a message to the Sacred Dragon King and the others, but there was no reply. Obviously, they had not escaped. "What should we do?" the leader of the Black Fog Spirit race asked with a gloomy expression. "There's no other way. Even if we report this to the Angel race, it's useless. The Elf race is watching over the Dragon Palace. The Angel race cannot interfere in our war." The leader of the God Shepherd clan had an ugly expression on his face. Chapter 3582, This is Bad. At the same time, on the battlefield, when the 9 mystical dragons on the 9 gigantic pillars attacked, the Holy Dragon King and all the other powerful figures felt their hearts tremble violently. Too strong, too strong. The experts of the Dragon Palace had set up an array formation in advance. If an array master could set up an array formation in advance, he could deal with 3 to 4 existences of the same level when the array formation was activated. Moreover, this array formation did not look like it was set up by a third-order Universe Lord Sorcerer. The sudden appearance of the array formation and the sudden sealing of the space had put them in a desperate situation. If they could not break the array formation, only death awaited them. Sacred Dragon Bloodline, Giant of Light Clan, Luminous Insect Race, let's see where you can run to now. You want to destroy our Dragon Palace? Today shall be the day you die. Wang Xian stared at them, his eyes filled with cold murderous intent. These array formations took more than a month to complete. The offensive power of the entire array formation was equivalent to 2 to 3 third-order Universe Lord. Most importantly, the sealing of the space. 9 dragon pillars, 9 attributes of the divine dragons, and 9 types of sealing. The Sacred Dragon Bloodline, Giant of Light Clan, and Luminous Insect Race had to destroy the 9 dragon pillars if they wanted to break the sealing of the space. The dragon pillars could move, and the area they could cover was unusually wide. But if they wanted to destroy it, they would have to face Wang Xian and the experts of the Dragon Palace. Destroy the array formation. At this time, don't hold back any trump cards. Kill. The Sacred Dragon King's face was as dark as blood when he saw this. He roared and attacked the dragon pillars in front of him. Kill. Wang Xian let out a low roar as he locked on to the third-order universe sovereigns and charged towards them. You are the Sacred Dragon King? I'll kill you today. When Ling Honggu saw the Sacred Dragon King attacking the dragon pillars, he waved his arm and a blood-red ribbon shot towards him. Kill. 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 The experts of the Dragon Palace rushed towards them immediately. With the obstruction of the array formation, the distance between them was shortened once again. Next, it would be a hand-to-hand battle. Boom boom boom. Every expert from the Dragon Palace radiated with powerful energy. AO2's entire body was wrapped in the Earth attribute as he charged forward directly. Relying on his nearly invincible defense, he was completely fearless. The Frost Divine Dragon, North Frost, swayed its huge body, and waves of freezing aura rushed forward. The eerie Mystic Dragon and the pure-blooded Dark Divine Dragon of metal, wood, water, fire, earth, wind, lightning, and light charged forward. The war had completely broken out. Block that woman in red, I'll destroy this formation. When the Sacred Dragon King saw Ling Honggu charging at him, his expression changed drastically. He roared at his subordinates. Immediately, several light divine dragons and peak species attacked Ling Honggu. Are you looking down on us? Roar. Roving Heavens and the rest looked over. They waved the sea-steadying needle in their hands and attacked the light divine dragons. Hong Ji-yu, kill the opponent's experts first. They destroyed a dragon pillar, but they can't destroy the formation. Wang Xian looked over and sent a voice transmission to Ling Honggu. All right. Ling Honggu's eyes flickered as she nodded. The flame between her brows bloomed, and a blood-red energy charged towards a light divine dragon. Oh no. The light divine dragon that was targeted by Ling Honggu shuddered. He had already seen how terrifying Ling Honggu was. If it was a one-on-one fight, he would be easily killed. Save me. He hurriedly roared. However, the surrounding third-order sovereigns from the Sacred Dragon bloodline had no chance to help him. Roving Heavens and the rest rushed over, and they had to defend against the violent attacks of Roving Heavens and the rest. Wang. A terrifyingly long blood-red ribbon completely covered the area around the light divine dragon, and it quickly shrank. The light divine dragon tried its best to defend, but it was of no use. When the war broke out, the Sacred Dragon bloodline, Giant of Light race, and Radiant Insect race's first-order and second-order sovereigns were in trouble. In this terrifying war, they could not play any role at all. Just the horrifying energy fluctuations were enough to kill them quickly. More than 1,000 universe ruler-level powerhouses were instantly killed by half. It was only a matter of time before the other half died. Dragon King of Dragon Palace, if you want to kill us, we will kill more than half of your Dragon Palace's expert. The leader of the Radiant Insect race roared when he saw this scene. With just you guys. Wang Xian sneered, flapped his unbeginning saint wings, and came to the side of a third-order sovereigns from the Radiant Insect race who was fighting the Golden Dragon from the Dragon Palace. Fat. The Radiant Insect race expert, who was fighting the Golden Dragon from the Dragon Palace, could not resist Wang Xian's sudden attack. His body was pierced by Wang Xian's dragon claw. Today, all the experts from your 3 races shall die. Wang Xian roared, and with a move, he continued to attack the next third-order sovereigns. The number of third-order sovereigns from the 3 races was similar to that of the Dragon Palace. The experts from the Dragon Palace fought them one-on-one, while Wang Xian hunted them down. Wang Xian arrived at a third-order universe sovereign. While the other party was still resisting the attacks of the Dragon Palace experts, Wang Xian easily killed him. 1 move, 1 kill, very easy. The experts from the 3 races did not even have time to react. In just a dozen seconds, Wang Xian had killed more than a dozen third-order sovereigns. Since the start of the battle, the 3 races had lost 20 third-order sovereigns. However, among these experts, there were some who had life-saving treasures. They left behind a corpse and escape. Dragon King of Dragon Palace, I'll kill you. I want you dead. The leader of the Radiant Insect race saw the experts being killed by Wang Xian. If this continued, all of them would die. His eyes were filled with the will to die, and his face was filled with madness. Insect God enter the body, Dragon King Slayer. The leader of the Radiant Insect race roared and spread his wings. A huge hole was torn in the middle of the wings. GGGG. Behind him, the enormous insect god turned into numerous small insects that surged into his body. Leader. All the experts from the Radiant Insect race saw this, and their faces changed as they roared. Once the insect god entered the body, only death awaited. Even if they had life-saving treasures, It was useless. Chapter 3583. A painful scream came from the leader of the light-chirping insect tribe as his body trembled violently. He was going to risk his life. When the surrounding experts and disciples of the light-chirping insect tribe witnessed this scene, their hearts pounded violently and their eyes turned bloodshot. The strongest trump card of the light-chirping insect tribe, insect god possession. Initially, the leader of the light-chirping insect tribe did not want to take this step. Once he did, it would mean death. There was no chance of survival. But at this stage, continuing would mean a slow death. The only way out was to kill. Otherwise, the light-chirping insect tribe would be finished. Wang Xian squinted his eyes when he saw the changes in the body of the leader of the light-chirping insect tribe and the rising aura of his body. He moved and flapped his wings of the beginning as he charged at Yi Futian, Wang. The moment Wang Xian charged over, the leader of the light-chirping insect tribe, who was screaming violently, opened his blood-red eyes. Ka. Following which, the skin on his body cracked open slowly. Eyes popped out and stared coldly at Wang Xian. There were at least a few million pairs of eyes on his huge body. Dragon King, I've locked on to you. You killed the disciples of the light-chirping insect tribe. I'll bury all the experts of the Dragon Palace with you. The leader of the light-chirping insect tribe opened his sharp mouth and roared with bloodthirst. His eyes were filled with madness. He flapped his wings and attacked Wang Xian directly. The moment he moved, the eyes of the countless insects emitted the power of light and blessed the leader of the light-chirping insect tribe, Wang. In an instant, the speed of the leader of the light-chirping insect tribe increased dramatically as his eyes locked on Wang Xian. The pair of horns of the inborn cardinal treasure above his head emitted a light blade and attacked Wang Xian. His speed and strength have increased tremendously. He must have used some special secret technique. Wang Xian's eyes flickered when he saw the changes in the leader of the light-chirping insect tribe, Wang. He moved and the dark ghost doppelganger appeared beside him with the 5 elements grindstone hovering below him, divine tail playing with pearls. His divine dragon swung its tail, and a wave of energy from the 5 elements great grindstone was injected into it. Lingling's blessing also landed on it. A powerful nomological Dharma idol attack, divine tail playing with pearls, attacked the light cry insect tribe leader. Boom! The god tail playing with pearls collided with the attack of the primordial cardinal treasure and defeated it. Then, it continued to attack the leader of the light-chirping insect race. The leader of the light cry insect race flapped his wings. Huge eyes of light appeared and attacked god tail playing with pearls. Boom boom boom. The sound of an explosion reverberated as the leader of the light-buzzing insect tribe continued to attack Wang Xian. Kill. Wang Xian sensed the strength of the leader of the luminous insect tribe. His eyes narrowed as he charged over. Bam bam bam. In close combat, he waved his dragon claws to meet the claws of the light-buzzing insect tribe's patriarch. The sound of collision reverberated. With the support of the Tai Chi dragon board and the 5 elements great grindstone, the leader of the light-chirping insect tribe was still able to withstand it. This caused his expression to change. The secret technique of the light-buzzing insect tribe patriarch was very powerful. It allowed him to almost be able to contend against the true ruler of the universe. Dark Ghost Doppelganger. However, Wang Xian still had the Dark Ghost Doppelganger. The Dark Ghost Doppelganger roared and a black flame engulfed the leader of the light-buzzing insect tribe, Wang. A part of the eyes of the leader of the light-buzzing insect tribe looked at the Dark Ghost Doppelganger and formed a light defense. The attack of the Dark Ghost Doppelganger did not break through his defense. Courting death. Light wave, block. The leader of the light-buzzing insect tribe felt Wang Xian's attack personally and his expression changed drastically. He let out a roar and emitted a wave of fluctuation that radiated in all directions, as though he was going to obliterate everything. 5 elements great grindstone, 5 dragons chaos. Wang Xian let out a low roar as his dragon claws landed on the 5 elements great grindstone. All kinds of weapons shot out from the grindstone. Treasures of 5 different attributes smashed towards the leader of the light-buzzing insect tribe like meteorites. Ghost mist. The dark ghost doppelganger let out a low roar as a black mist filled with corrosive power shrouded the surrounding. Dodge. All the experts in the surroundings felt the battle between Wang Xian and the leader of the light-buzzing insect tribe. They were shocked and immediately hid in the surroundings. Their battle was too terrifying. Ah! At this time, screams continued to ring out from the side. Wang Xian was temporarily held back by the leader of the light-buzzing insect tribe, but the experts from the Giant of Light tribe and the Sacred Dragon bloodline were hunted down by Ling Honggu. Ling Honggu's current overall strength was even stronger than Wang Xian. She only needed 1,000 years to reach the Universe Lord realm. 1,000 years was just a snap of the fingers for the chaotic continent. Coupled with her powerful inheritance, her combat strength was exceptionally terrifying. In a short period of time, another 2/3 Order Universe Lords were killed. At this point, the number of pinnacle experts from the three major races who died in the hands of Ling Honggu and Wang Xian had reached 24. Now, they were only left with 33rd Order Universe Lords. These 30 experts were besieged by more than 53rd Order Universe Lords from the Dragon Palace. Sacred Dragon King, give me your light taboo book. The leader of the Giant of Light tribe glanced at the leader of the light-buzzing insect tribe, clenched his fists and roared at the Sacred Dragon King. All right. The Sacred Dragon King had just destroyed a dragon pillar and realized that it had no effect. His expression was exceptionally ugly. He waved his arm and threw a book at the Giant of Light tribe. Taboo art, taboo body, activate. The Sacred Dragon King gritted his teeth and roared violently. In the next moment, his body gradually enlarged and golden blood flowed out from his body. The taboo book appeared above him and a ray of light descended, preventing his blood from flowing out. The leader of the Giant of Light tribe's body expanded rapidly, becoming more than 10 times bigger. The incomparably huge axe in his hand also looked a lot smaller at this moment. How dare you kill the disciple of the Giant of Light tribe? I'll kill you. The leader of the Giant of Light tribe entered the clouds and waved his arm. That originally incomparably huge peak of light was easily caught in his hand. Holding the mountain of light, he smashed it towards Ling Honggu. Tempage, you think you can kill me? Ling Honggu stared at the leader of the Giant of Light tribe, her face filled with disdain. She waved her arm and the blood-red ribbon behind her attacked the huge leader of the Giant of Light tribe. Ling Honggu's body was incomparably small in front of her. However, her terrifying aura was still superior. The blood-red ribbon emitted flames as it attacked the leader of the Giant of Light tribe. Chapter 3584. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Bang. The blood-red ribbon was covered in flames as it flew toward the tribe leader of the Giant of Light. Giant Peak of Light, destroy all laws. The tribe leader waved his arm and the Giant Peak of Light flew toward the blood-red ribbon. Boom. The sound of the collision rang out. However, the horrifying power seemed to have exceeded the tribe leader's expectations. He could not help but stumble back a few hundred steps. It was as if the sky was falling and the earth was collapsing. Axe, activate. The leader of the Giant of Light tribe steadied himself and slashed towards Ling Honggu. Ling Honggu's body trembled. He created clones and easily dodged the attack. Thousands of clones from all directions attacked the legs, body, and head of the Giant of Light. Giant Peak of Light, shake. The tribe leader of the Giant of Light roared. He let the Peak of Light float in front of his chest. A surge of energy entered his body and he shook it forcefully. Boom. The energy directly penetrated the ground and landed on the ground, making an incomparably terrifying sound. Holy Dragon King, don't hold back. Kill the powerful ones from the Dragon Palace and let our disciples leave. The Giant of Light felt Ling Honggu's attack and his expression was grim. Even with the help of the Book of Taboo and the Forbidden Skill, he was still no match for Ling Honggu. This sent chills down his spine. The strength of this powerful one from the Dragon Palace was too horrifying. He had not reached the Universe Lord realm, but his strength was no weaker than a Universe Lord. One had to know that his own forbidden skill could be terrifying. All right. The Holy Dragon King saw the tribe leader of the light insects and the tribe leader of the Giant of Light going all out. He gritted his teeth and swayed his huge dragon body as he attacked another dragon pillar. Lackey of the angels, I'm still here. However, at this moment, the aqua tentacle king swayed its humongous body. Its 3 eyes locked onto the Holy Dragon King and attacked him. Bastard, go to hell. The Holy Dragon King was filled with murderous intent when a puny battle pet dared to attack him. He swung his tail. Bang, bang, bang. However, his tail did not gain the upper hand when it collided with the tentacles of the Tentacle King. Instead, the tentacles wrapped around his dragon tail. Damn it. Why are there so many experts in the Dragon Palace? The Holy Dragon King stared at the Water Tentacle King, his heart pounding violently. Charm, desire. At this moment, at the battlefield between Dragon Palace and the top experts of the 3 clans, the Phantom Dragon stood at the back, holding a black flower of the other shore in her hand. Her gaze locked onto a third-order universe sovereign from the Light Cry insect race. In front of him, a demonic dragon was engaged in a fierce battle. Now, Dragon Palace had the upper hand in terms of the number of peak experts. More than a dozen peak experts from the 3 races were besieged by 2 experts from the Dragon Palace. Under such circumstances, the mystic dragon species suddenly intervened in the battle. Although the peak powerhouse of the Light Cry insect race looked embarrassed, he was still prepared. Waves of energy wrapped around him, carrying out a comprehensive defense. Just as his defense was completed, he felt his vision blur. Boom. In front of them, the terrifying demonic dragon claw caused their defenses to collapse. However, he had already recovered and heaved a sigh of relief. The weirdness of the experts of Dragon Palace made his heart tremble. Puff. All of a sudden, he felt his heart tremble violently as a destructive aura rushed into his body. He felt his life force being destroyed at a crazy rate, and his body was getting weaker and weaker. Cough. Cough, cough. With a thought, he sensed a strange shadow of light and darkness behind him. It was the spike dragon species. Roar, roar. The demonic dragon claw descended once again, causing his vision to darken. Next. Roving demon's voice rang in the mind of the phantom dragon species leader. The phantom dragon species leader nodded his head. Between the 2 of them, one would temporarily charm, while the other would assassinate. With the experts from Dragon Palace in front of them, it was easy to hunt. Roving Demon's figure disappeared, and he quickly locked onto another third-order universe sovereign expert. The mystic dragon's strange eyes looked over and immediately launched a strange attack. Wang. The strange attack was formed once again. Roving Demon's figure appeared once again. Another third-order universe sovereign expert was assassinated. RRR. Be careful of the spike dragon species from Dragon Palace. Be careful of the demonic existence in front of them. Before he died, the expert roared in disbelief. Huh! In the surroundings, the peak experts from the 3 races felt that one of their companions had been killed, and their expressions turned ugly. Array, trap, slash, kill. From the side, a cold voice rang out, and array after array shot towards a Radiance Divine Dragon. In front of the Radiance Divine Dragon, countless branches surrounded it. Roar, 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 no. In the face of this terrifying branch attack, in the face of the Heavenly Formations attack, his face was filled with despair. Pang. Very quickly, a divine dragon fell from the sky. The sacred dragon bloodline, giant of light race, and insect race had fallen into a vicious cycle. Every time an expert was killed, the 3 races would have 1 less peak-level expert. On the Dragon Palace's side, an expert was freed. Every time an expert of Dragon Palace was freed, another expert would fall into a desperate situation. Law of Law, Frost Dragon Wing Slash. In the center, Bei Shuang exuded a terrifying aura as she charged towards one of the giant of light race. A pair of dragon wings formed from frost appeared on her body, and she attacked the giant of light race's body. Even if the variant divine dragon's cultivation realm wasn't high, she could easily suppress an opponent of the same level. In a one-on-one situation, Bei Shuang could completely suppress an opponent of the same level. Swish, 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 swish. At this time, terrifying arrows were shot towards the pinnacle powerhouse of the giant of light race. The speed of the arrows was terrifying, and under the frost, the speed of the giant of light race was greatly restricted. Roar, roar. He roared and hurriedly raised his arm to block the attack. Swish, 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 swish. However, in this instant, it was as if countless arrows had landed on his arm. His arm slowly split apart until it completely collapsed. Roar, roar. Bei Shuang spat a mouthful of frost on his body, causing it to slowly freeze. Peng, peng. The arrows landed on his body, causing it to slowly split apart. Strange spiritual attacks, array attacks, powerful close combat, terrifying defense, and accurate long-range attack. The dragon species of the Dragon Palace had displayed terrifying combat strength. Chapter 3585. The experts from the sacred dragon bloodline, light insect race, and giant light clan screamed in agony. The three major races were now at a complete disadvantage in terms of strength. As of now, there were less than 21st and 2nd order sovereigns who were still alive. Under the terrifying aftermath of this battle, they could only try their best to dodge and resist. The battle continued. In just a dozen minutes, the number of third-order universe sovereigns from the three major races had increased from 20 to more than 30. There were only about 20 who were still fighting, and each of these 20 were besieged by at least two third-order universe sovereigns from Dragon Palace. Some were even besieged by 3. How can this Dragon King be so terrifying? How can he be so strong? He has clearly not stepped into the true universe sovereign realm. How can he have such terrifying strength? The light insect race patriarch roared with an ugly expression as he fought with Wang Xian. Wang Xian's strength had completely exceeded his expectations. He had risked his life to use the forbidden art, risked his life to increase his strength, but still could not do anything to the Dragon King of Dragon Palace. How could an existence below the universe sovereign realm be so terrifying? He attacked desperately, constantly depleting his life force. At this time, he had no way out. Hearing the screams of the surrounding experts, the light insect race patriarch's eyes were filled with despair. Sacred Dragon King, immediately take out all your trump cards and let the disciples of the other races escape. Quick, quick. At the side, the giant light clan patriarch held a giant light peak in one hand and a giant axe in the other. He sensed the situation around him and roared with bloodshot eyes. Even after using the forbidden art, he was still suppressed by the lady in red from Dragon Palace. Her terrifying strength made him tremble. If this went on, all the experts and disciples of the three major races would die. Trump cards. I have no more trump cards. Sacred Dragon King roared with an ugly expression when he heard the giant light clan patriarch's word. His foundation and that of the sacred dragon bloodline were inferior to the giant light clan and the light insect race. In order to deal with the ancestral dragon leader, he had already used up most of his trump card. Other than some life-saving means and 1 or 2 innate cardinal treasures, he had no other trump card. When the leader of the Giant of Light heard his words, he felt his vision go black. His breathing quickened as he scanned his surroundings. Boom! He raised the peak of light in his hand and smashed it towards Ling Honggu. Members of the Giant of Light, follow me, flee. At this moment, he completely gave up resisting and roared. As for how many experts and disciples would be able to escape, he couldn't care less. Now, the only thing that mattered was how much they could escape. I'll bring up the rear, you guys run. The light buzzing insect race's patriarch roared as if he was facing death with equanimity. Roar. He let out a wild roar as blood slowly flowed out of his eyes. The blood burned and turned into a terrifying light energy. The light condensed into the shadows of the insects, covering the sky and covering the earth as they attacked the experts of Dragon Palace. When Wang Xian sensed the attack from the leader of the light-buzzing insect tribe, his expression changed. This is. At that moment, he saw the body of the leader of the light-buzzing insect tribe begin to crumble bit by bit. The crumbling body condensed into insects. Every single one of these insects possessed extremely powerful destructive power. The leader of the light-buzzing insect tribe consumed all his energy and flesh to fight for the last bit of time. Among them, a portion of the insects attacked the dragon pillars. The power that erupted from this attack was comparable to the full blow of a true universe Lord Realm expert. 20 to 30 experts of the Dragon Palace were blocked by this horrifying attack. Even Wang Xian was hindered a little. Light-buzzing insect tribe, it's your fault for following the wrong master. It's your fault for wanting to annihilate the Dragon Palace, Wang Xian said coldly as he flapped his unbeginning sacred wings and stared at the gradually dissipating leader of the light-buzzing insect tribe. Leader. GGGG. A sorrowful voice came from the front. When the experts of the light-buzzing insect tribe looked over, their eyes were filled with grief and indignation. Dragon Palace, the light-buzzing insect tribe will not let you off. Just you wait. Run. The experts of the light-buzzing insect tribe screamed as they fled. They knew that their patriarch had fallen. The Dragon Palace has been waiting. We have no feud with you. It was you who wanted to annihilate the Dragon Palace first. In that case, be prepared to be annihilated. Wang Xian exuded a terrifying murderous aura once again. With a shift of his body, he gave chase. The attack from the leader of the light-buzzing insect tribe could not stop Wang Xian at all. He locked on to an expert of the light-buzzing insect tribe at the back. He swayed his huge body and injected energy into the five elements' great grindstone. No. The expert of the light-buzzing insect tribe roared in despair. Go down and accompany your leader, Wang Xian said with murderous intent. Boom. The five elements' great grindstone smashed on his body, causing his vitality to disappear rapidly. He immediately switched to the next target. Behind him, an expert of the Dragon Palace came and killed him. Dragon King, they have escaped from the range of the array. The attack of the leader of the light-buzzing insect tribe was blocked. A voice transmission came from the sky array. Wang Xian did not react. This time, it would be difficult for the Dragon Palace to keep all the experts here. He was already very satisfied with the results he had achieved so far. Wang Xian chased from behind. His dragon eyes that were integrated into his dragon eyes locked onto a giant of light. The phantom of the inborn treasure dragon eyes appeared around him, causing his body to tremble slightly. Leader, save me. He roared in despair. The leader of the giant of light who was fleeing in front took a glance, gritted his teeth, and continued to flee. Bam! The terrifying attack landed on him, severely injuring him instantly and causing him to fall. The disciples of the Dragon Palace surrounded him immediately. Save me. At this time, another desperate voice was heard from the side. Ling Honggu dodged the attack of the giant peak of light and chased after them. An expert of the sacred dragon bloodline was left behind. Escape back to your own holy kingdom. The sacred Dragon King looked over and saw that he had put some distance between himself and Wang Xian. Seeing Ling Honggu and Wang Xian locking on to other experts, his body trembled and he growled in a low voice. His figure gradually disappeared. The few experts at the forefront also hurriedly returned to their own divine kingdoms. The experts at the back still couldn't make it in time. They burned their lives to escape. This was because they had started burning their lives to escape. Only Wang Xian and Ling Honggu could catch up to them. This caused them to escape back to their own holy kingdoms. Chapter 3586, Dragon King of Dragon Palace, just you wait. I'll take revenge. The leader of the Giant of Light tribe let out a roar filled with endless hatred as he left. There were only 2/3 order sovereigns who were escaping. The faces of the last two experts were filled with despair. They even reduced their speed and gave up on escaping. They couldn't escape. Facing the Dragon King and the Lady in Red, there was no way they could escape. He stopped in despair and faced his impending death. Wang Xian did not show any mercy. He killed the last 2/3 order universe sovereigns. As for the other ranks, a few lucky ones managed to escape back to their own divine kingdoms in the battle just now. The rest were all killed. A great battle, accompanied by the screams of the light insect race powerhouses and the giant of light powerhouses, officially ended. The disciples of Dragon Palace immediately flew over and collected the corpses. Wang Xian looked at the place where they disappeared and revealed a smile. This battle was a complete victory. Their trump cards are still very strong. Ling Honggu flew over and said with flickering eyes, "Thank you, Honggu, for your help this time. Otherwise, we wouldn't have won." Wang Xian looked at Ling Honggu and thanked him. The trump cards of the Giant of Light and Light Insect race were indeed strong, especially when the Light Insect race risked their lives and used the forbidden art to restrain him. Without Ling Honggu, The other experts of Dragon Palace wouldn't have been able to withstand the forbidden art of the Giant of Light tribe leader. Even if they could withstand it, Dragon Palace wouldn't be able to wipe out so many expert. This is what I should do. It's a pity that I didn't leave more behind. Ling Honggu shook his head and said with a smile, "That's enough." Of the experts from the 3 races, only 13 of them managed to escape. Wang Xian said with a smile, "From the sacred dragon bloodline, giants of light, and luminescent insect race, there were 41 corpses of third-order sovereigns. As for how many of these 41 experts could be revived with the help of their life-saving treasures, Wang Xian didn't think it was important. 41 corpses could increase the number of third-order universe sovereigns in the Dragon Palace by 41. That might not be all. This was because they still had over 1,000 corpses of first and second-order universe sovereigns. This time, almost all the experts of the 3 races were killed here. Dragon King. At this moment, Roving Heavens and the rest flew over and shouted respectfully, "Have you collected all the bodies?" Wang Xian looked at them and asked. Dragon King, all of them have been collected. The experts of Dragon Palace nodded their heads. And Lai. He looked to the side and said to himself, "Dragon King." Dark Blaze bowed respectfully. "Let's go. Bring us to the Shepherd God tribe. Let's see if they've escaped or if anything has happened to them." Wang Xian ordered immediately. "It's Dragon King." And Lai nodded and a wave of energy enveloped all of them. The next moment, Wang Xian and the rest disappeared. This battle is over. It's over. It was completely over. The duration of the battle was very short. The sacred dragon bloodline, the giant of light, and the luminous insect race were completely defeated. The strength of Dragon Palace is really terrifying. The leader of the luminous insect race seems to have fallen completely. He died in order to let his subordinates escape. Even when the leader of the luminous insect race risked his life, not many people from the 3 races managed to escape. In the end, only a dozen third-order universe sovereigns managed to escape, right? SSS, the strength of Dragon Palace's Dragon King is too terrifying. This time, the sacred dragon bloodline is completely defeated. Who would have thought that it would end like this? In the direction of the solitary Heavens City, some experts and disciples looked over. Their faces were filled with shock. They had witnessed this battle with their own eyes. The sacred dragon bloodline and the 3 races were completely powerless to resist. The divine dragons, giants, and insect race continued to fall from the sky. The screams were endless. More than 40 third-order universe sovereigns were killed by Dragon Palace. That was more than 40 of them. What kind of concept was that? The strength of Dragon Palace had exceeded everyone's expectations. In the end, the sacred Dragon King, the leader of the Giant of Light, and the rest fled. Everyone thought that the Dragon Palace would be annihilated. No one had expected the Dragon Palace to resolve the battle in such a manner. Moreover, they had suffered such heavy losses. Next, which race in the chaotic continent would dare to provoke the Dragon Palace? Wang. Just as everyone in the solitary Heavens City was in shock, Wang Xian and the rest returned to the sacred dragon race's territory. Now that the Giant of Light and luminous insect race of the sacred dragon bloodline were almost annihilated, only the sacred dragon race, Black Fog Spirit race, and Gowl race were left. Wang Xian had no fear towards these 3 races. Given their current strength, they could definitely kill their way back and fight with the experts of the sacred dragon race. They could even annihilate them. Near the center of the territory of the sacred dragon race, Wang Xian led more than 50 experts from Dragon Palace. There's a majestic energy in the center. It should be the experts of the sacred dragon race and the other 2 races. The moment they teleported over, the Water Tentacle King immediately sensed it and said to Wang Xian, "Let's go and kill them." Wang Xian's eyes were filled with coldness. He moved and flew towards the center of the sacred dragon race. Rumble. The group of experts from Dragon Palace. They immediately followed behind. At the same time, at the center of the territory of the sacred dragon race, the leader of the sacred dragon race and the rest did not leave. They were still paying attention to some matters regarding the universe AI. They were paying attention to the battle between the Dragon Palace and the sacred dragon bloodline. Without the help of the luminous insect race and the other two races, it was impossible for them to rush over immediately. They could only check on the situation of the three races through the universe AI. But as time went by, their faces turned uglier and uglier, from the beginning when the three races fled, to being trapped by the array, to the screams and deaths. The experts from the sacred dragon race and the other two races were unusually gloomy. At this time, a horrifying energy fluctuation suddenly appeared on the right. The leader of the sacred dragon race and the rest were taken aback as they quickly looked to the right. The next moment, they saw several divine dragons flying towards them with horrifying dragon might. The leader of the group was the Dragon King of the sacred dragon race. Seeing the group of experts from the Dragon Palace charging towards them, the leader of the sacred dragon race and the rest were dumbfounded. What's going on? Did the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace suddenly come back? Run! The leader of the sacred dragon race, the leader of the Black Fog Spirit tribe, and the leader of the Gowl tribe narrowed their eyes. Without any hesitation, they immediately ordered. Chapter 3587, Run! The experts from the Shepherd tribe, Black Fog Spirit tribe, and Gowl Eaters were extremely embarrassed when they saw the horrifying aura coming from the right and the experts from Dragon Palace charging towards them. They fled immediately without hesitation. What else could they do but flee now? This time, the 6 major races were divided into 2 teams to deal with the unexpected situation. The strength of the sacred dragon bloodline, the Giants of Light, and the Radiant Insect tribe was similar to that of the Shepherd tribe, Black Fog Spirit tribe, and Gowl Eater. Now that a large number of experts from the Giants of Light had been killed by Dragon Palace, the Shepherd tribe, Black Fog Spirit tribe, and Gowl Eaters would definitely not be a match for Dragon Palace. Therefore, at this time, they did not hesitate. Flee. Flee immediately. Let's go. The experts from the Black Fog Spirit tribe, Gowl Eaters, and Gowl Eaters did not hesitate and disappeared immediately. The leader of the Shepherd tribe and the rest also left immediately. On the right, Wang Xian raised his eyebrows slightly when he saw all of them leaving. Dragon King, they have all escaped. Should we go to the Giants of Light directly? Enlai said to Wang Xian as he stood at the side. Yeah, let's go to the Giants of Light. The leader of the Giants of Light has escaped, but they only have 2 or 3 experts left. Let's go directly. Wang Xian did not continue to hunt down the experts from the Shepherd tribe. What he wanted to do was to disperse the 3 major tribes. After that, he would go to the Giants of Light. Among the 3 major races that Wang Xian had killed, the Giants of Light were the strongest and had the strongest foundation. Similarly, their treasures might also be the strongest. Most of the experts from the Giants of Light had been killed. However, Wang Xian and the rest did not obtain many treasures. Wang Xian and the rest were going to look for the holy nations of the experts from the Giants of Light. They had more than a dozen holy nations of the pinnacle experts from the Giants of Light. Finding their holy nations would yield a large number of treasures. If they were lucky, they might even be able to get the treasure vault of the Giants of Light. Wang. The dark blaze enveloped them, and their figures immediately disappeared. When Wang Xian and the rest reappeared, they were already in the territory of the Giants of Light. Over the past few months, Enlai had left demonic soul altars in the territories of the 6 major races. Through the demonic soul altars, they could rush over instantly. Sky formation. When they arrived, Wang Xian looked at Tianzhen and the rest. The heavenly array nodded and immediately began to search for the divine kingdom of the Giant of Light. Damn it! Damn it! How did this happen? At this moment, in the center of the Giant Light tribe, the Giant Light tribe patriarch had returned to his divine kingdom and immediately went to the location of his tribe's heavenly abode. Thinking of the consequences of this battle, his heart bled. This time, 80% of their experts went out to battle, but only 4 survived. 4 third-order sovereigns had managed to survive. As for the first and second level universe rulers, only 2 survived. In this battle, the foundation of the Giants of Light had been completely destroyed. 80% of the universe ruler level experts had been lost. This loss was far too great. Patriarch. At this time, the remaining 8 third-order sovereigns from the Giant of Light race sensed the arrival of their patriarch. They immediately flew over and stood in front of him with ugly expressions. We've suffered a crushing defeat this time. Appease all the disciples. Also, to prevent any accidents, guard the surroundings. The Giant of Light tribe patriarch said with an ugly expression. Yes, patriarch. One of the Giant of Light nodded. Wong wong wong. However, at this moment, an alarm suddenly rang. Huh! The Giant of Light tribe patriarch was slightly stunned. He immediately stood up and stared outside. What happened? Why did the alarm suddenly ring? He shouted in shock. Wang. One of the Giant of Light tribe beside him waved his hand and a technological item flew in front of them, displaying an image. In the image, many divine dragons were flying within the Giant of Light tribe's territory, and they were flying towards them. Damn it, those bastards from Dragon Palace actually chased after us. When the Giant of Light tribe patriarch saw this, his eyes shrunk. Go, immediately bring all the disciples and escape. Similarly, he did not hesitate as he roared. Yes, patriarch. The 8 Third Order Universe sovereigns did not hesitate at all as they flew towards the exit. All Giant of Light tribe disciples, immediately escape with us. They flew over and roared. Escape. Could it be that the experts from Dragon Palace are attacking? How is that possible? Quick, the alarm is ringing. It should be the experts from Dragon Palace attacking. The disciples of the Giant of Light tribe had already received news of the Giant of Light tribe's defeat at the hands of Dragon Palace through the AI. Now that the alarm of their tribe was ringing, their superiors ordered them to escape. None of the disciples hesitated at all. Enter the divine kingdom, let's go. The group of powerhouses placed all the disciples into their own divine kingdoms. Then, together with the Giant of Light patriarch, they quickly fled outside. They did not place their hopes on the Giant of Light tribe's blessed land. With the Shepherd tribe as an example, they knew that the blessed land could not withstand the attacks of Dragon Palace. Moreover, after exchanging blows with the experts from Dragon Palace, the strength of the Dragon King and the Lady in Red from Dragon Palace made them shiver in fear. The Giant of Light tribe patriarch and the rest led all the disciples out of their territory with sullen and unwilling expressions. Let's go to the Angel tribe. The Giant of Light tribe patriarch looked at his territory, his face filled with unwillingness as he roared in a low voice. This time, the 6 major races had joined forces and yet they had fallen at the hands of Dragon Palace. This made them very unwilling to accept it. After this complete defeat, it would be extremely difficult for them to deal with Dragon Palace again. This was because under the circumstances where the pinnacle races could not intervene, the Angel tribe already had a subsidiary race that could deal with Dragon Palace. Not only could they not deal with them, but they would also have to face the revenge of Dragon Palace. Dragon King, they have all escaped. When Wang Xian and the rest arrived at the center of the Giant of Light tribe, Sky Formation sensed the surroundings and reported, "Hehe, so be it. Let's start looking for treasures." Wang Xian shook his head nonchalantly. This time, they were not here to hunt them down, but for the divine kingdoms of the experts who had been killed. Destroy all the teleportation arrays. And make a trip back to Dragon Palace and bring all the witch dragons with the combat strength of the Universe Lord. Sky Formation instructed them. Chapter 3588. Alright. And Lai nodded and immediately set up a demonic soul altar. Among the witch dragons, there were 2 others at the same level as Tian Zhan. The strength of the witch dragons depended on their mastery of array formations and the number of array formations they had mastered. The other 2 witch dragons did not have as much experience as Tian Zhan. This resulted in a huge difference in strength between them and Tian Zhan. The witch dragons were the dragon species with the greatest potential in the Dragon Palace. If they could master more array formations, it was highly possible for them to be on par with the variant divine dragons. After Enlai left, Tianjin and the other 2 witch dragons immediately started searching for a god nation. With the corpses around, it was very easy for them to find a god nation. Over here. Soon, Tianjin and the others locked onto 3 corpses and flew over to search. All the array formations of the Giant of Light tribe were destroyed. It was impossible for the outside world to teleport in. This was to prevent accidents from happening. This Dragon Palace killed a large number of experts from the sacred dragon bloodline, light insect race, and giant of light tribe. This Dragon Palace's strength is terrifying. How can they be so strong? We were still thinking about how to defend against the invasion of the 6 major races, but they have already killed a large number of experts from the sacred dragon bloodline, light giant of light, and light insect race. The Dragon King of Dragon Palace is so strong. At the same time, in the old lair of the ancestral dragon bloodline, under the command of a group of third-order sovereigns, the ancestral dragon bloodline had gathered together. Originally, they were prepared to fight against the 6 major races together with the Dragon Palace. Unexpectedly, they received such news from the smart computer. How strong was the Dragon Palace? How strong was the Dragon King of Dragon Palace? Even when the leader of the ancestral dragon bloodline was still around, they were not so strong. Even when their leader was still around and all the disciples gathered, they were only one of the 6 major races that were comparable to the giant of light tribe and light insect race. But now, the Dragon Palace was fighting 1 against 3, and only a dozen of them managed to escape. This terrifying strength shocked them. With this strength, the Dragon Palace doesn't need us at all. No wonder the Dragon King of Dragon Palace didn't look for us to discuss an alliance. It seems that the Dragon Palace doesn't care about us at all. In the central hall of the ancestral dragon's lair, the Golden Dragon King sighed with emotion. That's right. According to the intelligence system, the Dragon Palace also has over 50 third-order universe sovereigns. However, the Dragon King and another expert from the Dragon Palace are extremely terrifying. They can easily kill third-order universe sovereigns. Their strength is too terrifying. Even when facing over 50 third-order sovereigns from the 3 races, they were still able to kill over 40 of them. Too strong. The group of ancestral dragon powerhouses sighed. As they read the news, they were extremely shocked. The strength of the Dragon Palace could easily kill their peak ancestral dragon bloodline. The Divine Dragon Palace's Dragon King can lead our Divine Dragon bloodline to the peak again. The Azure Dragon King sighed slightly. With the strength displayed by the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace, the glory of the Divine Dragons would depend on the Dragon Palace. They also believed that the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace would bring the Divine Dragon bloodline back to its peak. The main reason was that the Dragon Palace was too insane for them. What they had to consider now was whether they should join the Dragon Palace directly. After this battle, the Dragon Palace would be the last hope of the Divine Dragon tribe. Angel Race, Radiance God Mountain. The 3 races were defeated, and the Shepherd God tribe, Black Fog Spirit tribe, and Ghost Gal tribe were scared off by the Dragon Palace. After returning to their respective divine kingdoms, they immediately rushed to the Radiance God Mountain. They had obeyed the orders of the Angel Race to attack the Dragon Palace. Who would have thought that things would turn out this way? This result caused them to feel extremely embarrassed and terrified. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Through the transmission array, they arrived at a large hall of the Angel Race and waited there quietly. Where are the Giant of Light tribe's patriarch and the rest? One by one, the patriarchs arrived and waited there. The sacred Dragon King looked at them and asked in a low voice when he did not see the Giant of Light tribe's patriarch. The Dragon Palace has entered the Giant of Light tribe's territory. The Giant of Light tribe's patriarch and the rest have led the experts out of the tribe. Without the transmission array, it will take a few days to rush over. The Black Fog Spirit tribe's patriarch said with a sullen face. He looked at an expert from the light insect race and asked, "How many peak experts do you have in your tribe?" "There's only 5 left." The expert from the light insect race was still exuding a strong murderous aura as he growled in a low voice. This time, the death of the light insect race's patriarch was a huge blow to them. Buzz. Just as he finished speaking, 2 figures appeared in front of them. One figure stood in front, the other one a step behind. "Greetings, Third Prince." "Greetings, Archangel Gabriel." The sacred Dragon King and the rest immediately bowed respectfully when they saw them. The third prince nodded lightly. His gaze swept across them, his expression a little gloomy. "Third Prince, the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace is very powerful and terrifying. They attracted half of our experts away. The sacred dragon bloodline and the light insect race of the Giant of Light tribe are no match for them at all. This time, we were almost completely annihilated. Even the light insect race's patriarch has fallen. The sacred dragon king hurriedly knelt on the ground and reported loudly, "This is not your fault. The dragon palace's strength has also exceeded my expectations." The third prince said lightly, "It was naturally not the sacred dragon king's fault that the giant of light tribe and the light insect race suffered such heavy losses. The dragon palace's strength had far exceeded their expectations. Third prince, you must avenge our patriarch. Our patriarch did not hesitate to sacrifice his life in order to let us escape." The expert from the light insect race knelt down and shouted in grief and indignation, "Don't worry, I will not let them off." The third prince said, his eyes flickering as he looked below, "How strong is the dragon palace?" Third prince, "The dragon palace ambushed us with 54 third-order universe sovereigns this time. However, the dragon king and a lady in red from the dragon palace are abnormally powerful. They can easily kill us. Their strength is comparable to a true universe sovereign." The sacred dragon king and the rest immediately reported, "Oh." His words caused Archangel Gabriel, who was standing at the back, to raise his brows slightly. His eyes flickered slightly. "Yes, third prince. The giant of light tribe's patriarch and the giant of light tribe's 8 experts besieged the lady in red from the dragon palace, but they were no match for her. She is extremely terrifying. She has the 2 attributes of darkness and fire." The expert from the light insect race added, "Huh." The third prince also raised his brows, a trace of surprise on his face. The dragon palace actually had such an expert? Chapter 3589. The strength displayed by the dragon palace was beyond the angel tribe's expectations. Even the third prince raised his eyebrows slightly when he heard their message. In order to open the divine dragon tribe's treasury, for the legendary heart of light and darkness, he had to unify the divine dragon tribe. The current dragon palace was indeed a big problem. Third prince, what should we do next? Sacred Dragon King saw that the third prince was deep in thought and asked with a slightly embarrassed expression, "Baal, go to the Invincible domain and find some expert." The third prince stood there and hesitated for tens of seconds before speaking. "Third prince, if you want to invite those fellows from the Invincible domain, I'm afraid the price will not be small." At the back, Baal cupped his hands and said, "Let me know what they need in return. I'll see if I can find a few pinnacle experts." The third prince said, "Yes, third prince." Baal nodded. In front, Sacred Dragon King and the rest heard the words Invincible domain and their expressions change. "If the third prince can call the experts from the Invincible domain, we will definitely be able to destroy them." Sacred Dragon King said hurriedly, On your side, I will send some angels to your tribe. You don't have to worry about the Dragon Palace continuing to attack you." The third prince continued plainly, "Yes." Sacred Dragon King, Mutant God's tribe leader and the rest immediately responded respectfully. The third prince waved his hand and disappeared. Archangel Baal also left. "If the pinnacle experts from the Invincible domain come to help us, then destroying the Dragon Palace should not be a problem. The Dragon King of the Dragon Palace and that lady in red are very terrifying existences in the Invincible domain, unless Lord Archangel Baal can find those insane expert." After the third prince and Archangel Baal left, Sacred Dragon King and the rest stood up and said in a low voice, "If the third prince wants to destroy the Dragon Palace, then he will definitely be able to destroy them." "Definitely." The experts from the Lightbugs tribe growled in a low voice. The Invincible domain was the name of a domain. It was located in a void crack above the inner continent. That crack was a broken battlefield. Once, a large number of experts above the universe ruler realm besieged a race of giant star beasts. That crack in the void had been created by the giant star beast's special ability. All the experts who had besieged the giant star beast had been trapped there. Although the giant star beast was killed in the end, the group of experts was also trapped there. There were still broken divine kingdoms left behind. The divine kingdom supported the broken space, and within it flowed 9 types of attribute. The attributes there seemed to be tangible, the power of laws clearly visible. In that space, there was a desolate beast occupying it. Later on, it attracted a large number of experts. However, the desolate beasts there were terrifying, and there were many third-order universe sovereigns. There were even desolate beasts that had absorbed the energy of the astral beasts and mutated, their strength terrifying to the extreme. As time passed, that place became a training ground for peak expert. Currently, those that could stay there were at least second-order universe sovereigns. Most of them were third-order universe sovereigns. The universe was vast, and so was the great wilderness continent. In the 20 billion years since the end of the last cataclysm and before the birth of the next cataclysm, a great number of peak-level venerable experts were born in the universe. Not every peak-level universe sovereign expert could step into the universe sovereign realm. It was extremely difficult to step into the universe sovereign realm. Some experts could not break through in 100 million years, a billion years, or even 5 billion years. This caused these experts to think of ways to break through. There were two ways to break through. One was to have the help of treasures. The second was to gain enlightenment during life and death battles. Treasures were limited, thus one could only take the second way. Due to the special circumstances of the Invincible region, many experts came here to seek breakthroughs. Over 10 billion years had passed, and the number of experts here increased. And the number of experts breaking through here increased as well. As more experts broke through, more experts came. As time passed, this place became known as the Invincible region, because every single expert here was incomparably terrifying. In fact, there were even experts from peak-level races who came here to seek breakthroughs. Currently, in the Invincible region, there were a few well-known experts. They were mutated experts amongst mutated expert. In other words, they were existences comparable to mutated divine dragons. When they were peak-level venerables, they could fight against true universe sovereigns. But due to their realm, they had not taken that step, and had been searching for opportunities to break through. Those few existences easily dealt with the dozen third-order sovereigns on the other side. But to invite such experts over, the price would not be low. After all, such experts could fight against Archangel Gabriel without any Xiantian treasures. Sacred Dragon King and the rest waited in the hall for a while. Very quickly, 6 angels flew over. 6 great 12-winged angels, true universe sovereigns. They followed Sacred Dragon King and the rest back to their lair. Peak-level races could not interfere with high-level races battles, but if a universe sovereign was a guest at a high-level races place, then one could not disturb or attack them. Doing so would be an affront to the experts of the peak races, and the other party could attack. With the powerful warriors of the angel tribe holding the fort, the Holy Dragon King and the others returned to their own lair and quietly waited for news. Sacred Dragon King absorbed the treasures that the third prince gave him, anticipating the day he broke through. Dragon King, all the cosmos god nations have been found. There are 14 with third-order universe sovereigns. At the same time, in the Giant of Light tribe, Tianzhen and the rest found all the cosmos god nations and reported to Wang Xian. "Let's go back, we can't stay here any longer," Wang Xian said with a smile. Tianzhen and the rest nodded. This time, the Dragon Palace's harvest was terrifying. 41 third-order universe sovereigns' corpses, and 14 cosmos god nations of the same level. Other than that, these 14 cosmos god nations had a large number of treasures, as well as the Shepherd tribe's treasure vault. As for the Shepherd tribe, when the 8-headed devilish parasites entered their blessed grotto heavens, they entered the Shepherd tribe's treasure vault and obtained a large number of treasure. In short, after this battle, the Dragon Palace would have more than 100 third-order universe sovereigns. But the specific increase would have to wait. Wang Xian wanted to see if he could raise Bei Shuang's realm. If he could raise Bei Shuang's realm to the pinnacle venerable realm, then he would be able to fight against a true universe sovereign. Also, he did not know if all the resources added together could help Wang Xian break through. Chapter 3590, Wang Wang Wang. In the Dragon Palace, Wang Xian and all the Dragon Palace disciples had returned. This time, they had returned with great rewards. Bring all the resources over and use all the corpses to enhance the strength of the Dragon Palace disciples. Prime Minister Turtle immediately rushed over and instructed Wang Xian upon his return. "Yes, Dragon King." Prime Minister Turtle nodded. Wang. At this time, Enlai also rushed over with Ling Honggu. "Thank you, Princess Honggu. I won't trouble you for the rest. Wang Xian thanked Ling Honggu. Compared to the inheritance you helped me obtain, this is nothing. We have annihilated so many experts from the 3 major races. I don't think they will let us off so easily. Ling Honggu smiled and continued, especially since they have the backing of the angel race. They should have other tricks up their sleeves. Half of the 6 major races have been crippled. Our Dragon Palace can handle the upcoming situation. Wang Xian smiled and said confidently, the improvement this time was great. Even if they gathered another 6 races, the Dragon Palace alone could handle them. I'll stay in the Dragon Palace for the time being. I need at most 1,000 years to reach the Universe Lord realm. After I advance, I'm afraid I won't be able to interfere. I'll leave after 1,000 years. Ling Honggu said to Wang Xian. All right. Wang Xian pondered for a moment and nodded. With Ling Honggu, the Dragon Palace would have an additional layer of protection. 1,000 years was nothing to experts like them, and bring Princess Ling Honggu to a place to stay in the Dragon Peak. If she needs anything, she can direct the disciples of the Dragon Palace. In addition, you can see if there are any dark attribute treasures that you need. Wang Xian said to her. All right. Ling Honggu nodded with a smile. Beside her, Lai brought her back to where they were staying. Wang Xian sat on the dragon throne, turned on the Universe AI, and browsed through it. Currently, the Universe AI was bustling with activity. The news of the Dragon Palace attacking the divine dragon bloodline, Giant of Light, and luminescent insect race and killing a large number of their experts had spread like wildfire. Everyone was guessing how strong the Dragon Palace was. Some experts and disciples from other forces said that the Dragon Palace might be the hope of the divine dragon race. There were all kinds of flattery. In short, this battle had shocked all the experts of the various races. With such strength, which of the high-level clans could compete with the Dragon Palace? The world of science and technology, recognized as the strongest race, might be able to suppress the Dragon Palace. But is there anyone else besides them? Almost none. However, among all the news, Wang Xian discovered a force. Well, it couldn't be called a force, but a region. Some disciples of the experts were discussing that the only experts that were stronger than the Dragon Palace were the technology world and the Invincible domain. Later on, a powerful disciple broke this rule. The Invincible region could not be called a force, it was just a region. Naturally, Wang Xian understood what the technological world was like. They were the strongest race in the universe that focused on science and technology. They were also the only race with science and technology in the primordial continent. The strength of this race was extremely terrifying. They had all kinds of technological weapons and technological items. There were even experts from peak races who purchased technological items from them. In the technological world, they were known as the strongest advanced race. No one knew exactly how strong they were, but no one dared to provoke them. This was the first time he heard of the Invincible domain. Using the Universe AI to check, he understood a little. The Invincible domain was the name of a region, because it was the place where the pinnacle supremacies of the universe trained and wanted to break through. There were many pinnacle supremacies of the universe. Hence, it was called the Invincible domain. Invincible below the pinnacle races. Not to mention, there were pinnacle supremacies of the universe training there. The Invincible domain, it lived up to its name. Dragon King, all the treasures have been gathered here. Just as Wang Xian was looking through all the information, Prime Minister Turtle brought all the resources for this battle and reported to him. Wang Xian switched off the Universe AI. He was just a little curious about the Invincible domain, but he didn't pay too much attention to it. If he wanted to break through, what he needed were resources, not battles and killings. Looking ahead, within the Dragon King Hall, there were many treasures. Wang Xian swept his gaze across, his eyes shining. There was only one primordial cardinal treasure, the pair of horns on the head of the light-chirping insect race. Other than this primordial cardinal treasure, there was nothing else. However, there were many primordial spiritual treasures, more than 2,000. After all, it was normal for the experts of the light-chirping insect race, the sacred dragon bloodline, and the Giants of Light to have one or two or more primordial spiritual treasures. In terms of resources, it was much less than Wang Xian had imagined. Wang Xian flew over, counted the resources, and frowned slightly. The resources obtained were much less than those obtained from the Heaven Plant's demon beast race. The main reason was that these resources were mainly obtained from the Holy Kingdom of the experts of the Giants of Light. Most of the treasures and resources of an advanced race were concentrated in the hands of the Patriarch. The resources of the experts of the Giants of Light, as well as those obtained from the Shepherd clan, might not be enough for Wang Xian to break through. However, even if it wasn't enough, he might be able to reach about 90%. Although it can't make my strength breakthrough, there are too many primordial spiritual treasures. Could it make the Tai Chi dragon plate break through? Wang Xian murmured. When he annihilated the Heaven Plant's demon beast race, Wang Xian had obtained a large number of wood and 5 elements primordial spiritual treasures. There were more than 800 of them. This had improved the 5 elements grind significantly. However, this time, he had obtained more than 2,000. More than 1,000 experts of the Universe Lord realm and above from the 3 major races, and all of them were of the light element. If the Tai Chi dragon plate devoured these primordial spiritual treasures, it should be able to evolve. If the Tai Chi dragon plate could evolve, Wang Xian's strength would reach a terrifying level. The Tai Chi dragon plate had the characteristics of a curse, and it could reflect attacks. Once the Tai Chi dragon plate was upgraded, Wang Xian could almost ignore the attacks of ordinary Universe Lord. In the realm of Third-Order Universe Lords, he would be invincible. No one could break through his defense. Attacking him would result in a huge backlash. Even experts at the Universe Dominator realm couldn't do much to Wang Xian. After all, Wang Xian's strength was already comparable to a Universe Lord realm expert. If the Tai Chi dragon plate absorbs it, the possibility of a breakthrough is very high. Wang Xian murmured, his eyes shining. Chapter 3591, Dragon King, we've obtained a lot of resources this time. It's enough for Bei Shuang, Fan Longhu, and Princess Xiao Yu to break through to the 4th Order Universe Sovereign Realm. Should we let them break through? In the Dragon King Hall of the Dragon Palace, Prime Minister Turtle asked Wang Xian, who was checking the resources, let Bei Shuang make another breakthrough. Wang Xian pondered for a moment before replying. The harvest this time was sufficient to allow the Dragon Palace's current mutated divine dragons to reach the peak of the Universe Supremacy realm. Once they reached the pinnacle Universe Ruler realm, they would be comparable to Universe Ruler realm expert. That strength was even stronger than the current Wang Xian and Ling Honggu. After all, this was a mutated divine dragon. It's Dragon King. Prime Minister Turtle nodded. Raising Bei Shuang's cultivation to the peak of the Venerable Realm required the corpses of 10 third-order sovereigns. But it was all worth it. Bei Shuang's improvement did not mean that the Dragon Palace had given birth to a Universe Lord. The Dragon Palace still couldn't become a peak race. The symbol of a peak race was a Universe Ruler. However, Wang Xian still remembered one thing. Even if the Dragon Palace had a few Universe Lord experts, it was best not to expose them. This was the advice of the elves. Although Wang Xian did not know the reason, the elf race would not lie to him. This time, after Bei Shuang's advancement, the strength of the Dragon Palace would be greatly enhanced. After all, after Bei Shuang's advancement, she wouldn't be at a disadvantage when facing a Universe Ruler. If I can break through the Tai Chi Dragon Board, I should have no problem fighting Archangel Gabriel. Wang Xian looked at the spot in front of him. The Tai Chi dragon coil was rapidly absorbing the innate spiritual treasures. Yin and Yang reversed, and the primordial spirit treasures turned into energy and gathered within. Every time it absorbed a primordial spirit treasure, the luster of the Tai Chi dragon plate would grow deeper. Wang Xian was looking forward to the breakthrough of the Tai Chi dragon board. In the following period of time, the universe AI was still very busy. In the Dragon Palace, all the experts and disciples of the Dragon Palace were improving their strength. Along the way, the experts from the ancestral dragon lineage arrived, but Wang Xian did not see them. The most important thing right now was to improve the Tai Chi dragon board. Once he achieved a breakthrough in the Tai Chi dragon plate, Wang Xian would have the confidence to deal with all the conspiracies of the sacred dragon lineage. It didn't matter if the angel tribe gave the Holy Dragon King and the others powerful primordial carnate treasures, or found them more helpers. He had the confidence to deal with them. Time passed day by day. The absorption rate of the Xiantian spiritual treasures was extremely fast. Basically, he could absorb 10 Xiantian spiritual treasures a day. However, it would still take more than half a year to completely absorb it. As for Wang Xian, he made use of the time when the Tai Chi Dragon Plate absorbed the innate spiritual treasures to devour some of the resources. Therefore, in the Dragon King Hall, Wang Xian transformed into a huge divine dragon and absorbed a huge amount of resources. Up above, the Tai Chi Dragon Plate absorbed the carnate numinous treasures one after another. Time passed quickly. After a month, Wang Xian had completed his absorption. Just as he expected, he still needed some resources to advance. If there were too many attributes, the resources required would increase exponentially. Time passed very quickly. 9 months was just a short period of time for him to comprehend and cultivate. Buzz. On this day, when the Tai Chi Dragon Plate absorbed 2,000 primordial supreme treasures, the transformation came. A series of roars came from the Taiji Dragon board. The yin-yang eyes of the Dark Dragon and Light Divine Dragon emitted an incomparably dazzling radiance. The surrounding energy surged towards them in a frenzy. The two divine dragons seemed to be absorbing all the light and darkness into their bodies. Following which, the light and darkness were completely absorbed into the yin-yang eyes, into the bodies of the light and darkness divine dragons. Waves of horrifying energy were transmitted from their bodies. The two divine dragons gradually intertwined and fused together. The strange thing was that the two divine dragons began to fuse and gradually merged into a single divine dragon. However, the surface of their bodies looked a little strange. Darkness and light were on this divine dragon irregularly. The two eyes and the two dragon horns were respectively light and darkness. However, the strange thing was that the dragon horns on the Eye of Light were indeed the horns of the dark dragon. The Eye of Darkness was indeed the horns of the light dragon. It was very strange, but the energy it contained was extremely horrifying. Gradually, the body of this divine dragon began to coil and form the Tai Chi Dragon Board again. The Tai Chi Dragon Board rotated slowly and looked a little illusory. In the next moment, it flew towards Wang Xian's body. Under Wang Xian's gaze, the Tai Chi Dragon Board landed on his clothes and covered them. A yin-yang divine dragon coiled around his body, making him look like a divine dragon. I've broken through. Wang Xian looked at his own body with excitement in his eyes. The transformation this time was definitely a qualitative transformation for the Tai Chi Dragon Board. He could sense the expert in the Tai Chi Dragon Board. The strength was almost indestructible and unbreakable. Besides, there was also a hint of strangeness. Great. Among those of the same level, I can be considered invincible and undefeatable. Wang Xian could sense the expert in the Tai Chi Dragon Board with excitement in his eyes. The current him could easily kill Ling Honggu. He had the advantage of speed and an undefeatable defense. Unless Ling Honggu was constantly defending, he would be easily killed by Wang Xian. In addition, Wang Xian realized that the breakthrough of the Tai Chi Dragon Board this time had a few more powerful abilities as compared to the past. Offensive. The current Tai Chi Dragon Board possessed a strong offensive ability. The Light Divine Dragon and the Dark Divine Dragon were not defensive divine dragons to begin with. It was just the combination of yin and yang that formed a terrifying defense. In fact, the attacks of the Light Divine Dragon and the Dark Divine Dragon were extremely powerful. If Wang Xian were to control the Tai Chi Dragon Board in battle, just the Tai Chi Dragon Board alone could easily suppress an expert in the Universe Lord realm. Other than that, there was another powerful ability. It was called the yin-yang space. The Tai Chi Dragon Board enveloped him, making him feel as though he was in another space. This had a huge effect. That was to be untainted by dust and karma. In other words, he could disregard any curses and attacks. Of course, the premise was that he could only withstand the attack of a First-Order Universe Lord Realm Ancestor which, too powerful. The breakthrough of the Tai Chi Dragon Board is like the difference between an innate spiritual treasure and an innate cardinal treasure. Powerful and invincible. Wang Xian murmured with excitement in his eyes. Currently, He was confident that he was invincible and undefeatable among those below the Universe Lord realm. Who would dare to claim invincibility? Who would dare to claim invincibility? Who would dare to claim invincibility? Chapter 3592. Who dared to say they were undefeatable? Who dared to say they were undefeatable? In this universe, no one dared to say they were undefeatable. No one dared to say they were undefeatable, especially to those below the Universe Lord realm. The Invincible Domain was a name given to a domain. To be able to name a place like the Invincible Domain, one could imagine how strong this place was. Some said, there were no invincible enemies in this world. But those below the Universe Lord realm should be in the Invincible Domain. Those who came here were those who had been at the pinnacle of the Universe Lord realm for a long, long time. To break through, they entered the Invincible Domain, seeking to break through. Here, second-order sovereigns were like children. They had no right to speak. Here, there were at least 1,000 venerables from the pinnacle races. They were all here to seek a chance to break through. There were more than 10 pinnacle races. Their bloodlines, inheritances, and physiques could allow them to smoothly reach the Universe Lord realm, which meant the core disciples of the pinnacle races. Even if they did not have many resources, even if they did not have many opportunities, after cultivating for about 10 billion years, they could reach the pinnacle of the Universe Lord realm. With the accumulation of time, it was enough for them to overcome their lack of resources. This was the huge advantage of being a core disciple of a pinnacle race. But an advantage was an advantage. To break through to the Universe Lord realm, the advantage of a pinnacle race was not much higher than those mutated high-level race expert. However, every pinnacle race had some treasures that could increase their chances of breaking through. But this increase was limited. This caused many pinnacle race experts to bitterly seek the path to the Universe Lord realm. Some came to the Invincible Domain, to fight and spar with experts of the same level, to improve themselves. Because the pinnacle of the Universe Venerables had very long lifespans, this also resulted in the Invincible Domain having many pinnacle Universe Venerable. It formed a special region, the Invincible Domain. Other than that, within the Invincible Domain, there were some powerful opportunities. These opportunities were enough to move the hearts of pinnacle venerables of the universe. The Invincible Domain was huge, very vast. Within the crack in the void, there were many terrifyingly dilapidated divine kingdoms supporting it. Some of the divine kingdoms even shone with light, as if they were suns that illuminated this space. Su. Somewhere in the Invincible Domain, a 12-winged archangel was flying swiftly. Within the Invincible region, there were more than 20 places where experts gathered. These places were divided into more than 20 broken divine nations. And flying in the Invincible Domain was Archangel Gabriel. He looked at the place in front of him. It was a dark and strange area, shrouded in green and blood-red light. That place was filled with darkness and strangeness. Archangel Gabriel flew forward, the dark energy on his body shining like a bright lamp. However, he did not conceal his aura at all. His arrival immediately attracted the attention of many experts in front of him. In the center of the darkness and strangeness was an incomparably dilapidated area. It was filled with dilapidated buildings and some strangely dilapidated statues. At the very center, there was a towering tower. This was a very, very tall tower. On the top of the tower, there was a statue of an eye. The entire eye statue emitted a green glow, and from afar, it looked somewhat terrifying. And on this tower, there lived a powerhouse. A very famous expert in the Invincible Domain. They were called Black Tower Magi. The Magi were one of the top clans. However, the Magi were very special. Many of them were solitary explorers, pursuers of the truth of the universe. They were researchers of laws. Magi liked to research and explore alone. The Magi passed down their knowledge through the method of apprenticeship. The ancestral Magi were the core of the Magi. The Magi were very general. Although they were one of the top clans, only those who reached the level of ancestral Magi could enter the core of the Magi. The ancestral Magi Tower. The Magi were not like other clans. They were completely different from the Divine Dragon Clan and the Angel Clan. In the universe, there were only a dozen known ancestral Magi. It was very difficult to become an ancestral Magi. Among all the cultivation systems in the universe, the Magi were the most difficult. Cultivation was difficult, and breakthroughs were difficult. But at the same time, the strength of the Magi was very terrifying. When a Magus set up a spell formation and attacked, they could defend against 4 or 5 of you, or even more. Of course, there were Magi who specialized in the physical aspect. But when a Magus reached the level of ancestral Magi, he would be involved in spell formations, curses, and the physical body. The longer a Magus lived, the more terrifying they were. Because their accumulations were very deep. Among those of the same level, Magi usually occupied the majority of the Magi. Even Archangel Gabriel had to admit it. As one of the top clans, the Angel clan, he had no confidence in dealing with an ancestral Magus of the same level. Even in a life and death battle, the possibility of being killed was very high. This time, he was ordered by the third prince to come to the Invincible region to invite experts to deal with the Dragon Palace. The first person he thought of was this Black Tower Magus. The Black Tower Magus was very strong. He had a battle record. 1 person against 3 Fire Phoenixes, 3 Pinnacle Black Tortoise Universe Venerables, and defeated them. There was even a Black Tortoise with powerful defense that was killed by him. This was under the situation where the Black Tower Magus did not set up a spell formation beforehand. Among all the clans, the Black Tortoise race was known as the clan with the strongest defense. He was able to kill a Black Tortoise in a 1 versus 6 situation. One could imagine his strength. In the Invincible region, there was a tacit unspoken rule: life and death were determined by fate, wealth and honor were determined by the heavens. Once one stepped in, regardless of the top clans, regardless of background, if one was killed, one would be killed. The reason why there was such a rule was because those who stepped in were experts who had been unable to break through outside, and wanted to enter here to break through. If an expert had a strong background, others would not dare to engage in a life and death battle with you, and would avoid you the moment they met you. Then how would you break through? Coming here was to fight and break through. If one of your clan's experts died, your clan would come to take revenge. Then who would play with your clan's disciples in the future? Not to mention, the disciples of the top clans here would also fight and kill. The battles here had nothing to do with race, it only concerned the individual. If you were strong, then you were strong. If you were weak, then so be it if you died. Survival of the fittest, experts above the universe Lord realm could not interfere. Archangel Gabriel's arrival was like a bright light in the night, but after sensing his might, the surrounding experts did not pay too much attention to him. The surrounding experts were all existences that could step into the universe sovereign realm at any time. They would not be afraid of a first-order universe sovereign realm expert because of this. They could not have fear, because they wanted to break through. Chapter 3593, Whoosh. Archangel Gabriel flapped his wings and quickly flew towards the towering Magus Tower. He was very fast, ignoring the gazes around him as he stared at the residence of the Black Tower Magus. Whoosh. Very soon, he arrived in front of the Magus Tower and stopped about 100 million kilometers away. Above the Magus Tower, there was a circular fortress. Above the fortress, there was a huge eye that emitted green and blood-red light. Pausing in the void, he looked at the Magus Tower in front of him and frowned slightly. There was no movement at all. Buzz. His 12 wings trembled slightly, and a wave of energy rushed towards the surroundings. The power of light spread towards the Magus Tower. Buzz, buzz, buzz. However, at this moment, a green light swept across the surroundings from the top of the Magus Tower. The incomparably huge eye slowly stared at Archangel Gabriel. At this moment, Archangel Gabriel's heart suddenly tightened, and a sense of danger shrouded his heart. He seemed to hear the sounds of chanting around him entering his ears. He felt countless eyes staring at him from all directions. At this moment, he actually felt the threat of death shrouding him. As expected of the Black Tower Magus, to be able to give me such a strong threat of death. Archangel Gabriel stared at the circular fortress of the Magus Tower and said with a serious expression, "The powerhouses of the Invincible domain were indeed not to be underestimated." Some of the old monsters had lived for much longer than Archangel Gabriel. There were even quite a few old monsters who had lived for about 20 billion years. These old monsters had not broken through for a long time, but they were always thinking of ways to increase their strength. They had all sorts of strange methods. Even Archangel Gabriel, who was a ruler of the universe, would have to be careful. Take the Black Tower Magus in front of him for example. Archangel Gabriel was sure that if he dared to attack him here, it was hard to say who would live and who would die. After all, this was the lair of the Black Tower Magus, and there were all sorts of strange spell formations around. A dignified archangel, why would a little Magus like me come? What's the matter? A door opened in the center of the Magus Tower's fortress, and an old man slowly walked out. The old man had green pupils and a pair of blood-red wings on his back. Other than that, he looked very ordinary. He was the famous Magus of the Black Tower. A Magus of the Black Tower, who was only at the peak of the universe Paragon realm, had to show some respect for the arrival of an archangel. Regardless of his background, the other party's strength was enough for him to meet him. Under the orders of our third prince, we are here to invite Magi from the Black Tower to assist a few high-ranking clans in destroying an organization. Archangel Gabriel didn't hide anything and spoke directly. The third prince of the angels? Angel of light. The Black Tower sorcerer was surprised to hear Archangel Gabriel's words. He did not expect a powerhouse from a peak race to come looking for him. That's right. We, the Apex clans, cannot interfere in the affairs of the advanced clans. Tell me what you want. Our third prince can give it to you. Archangel Gabriel looked at the Black Tower Magus and continued. The Black Tower Magus stared at Archangel Gabriel, his green eyes flashing. Make a request to the angel race's third prince. The third prince of the angel race had an incomparably noble status. He wasn't an ordinary existence. This was the top second generation in the universe. I can make a move. Universe ruler realm Black Angel 12 wings. The Black Tower Magus muttered to himself for a moment, his eyes flickering. Achem. Archangel Gabriel frowned slightly when he heard the request. He knew that the Black Tower Magus would definitely make a request. No one would be able to resist the temptation of a powerhouse of this level. However, the Black Tower Magus's request was not small either. The 12 pairs of wings of a darkness angel at the universe ruler realm were treasures. It was not inferior to a carnate cardinal treasure. I will tell our third prince your request. Archangel Gabriel immediately took out the AI and sent the Black Tower Magus's request over. Buzz buzz. At the same time, in the center of Dragon Island, the third prince stood quietly in front of a pillar with many divine dragons entrenched in it. Beside him, the Aqua Phoenix was also standing there. The third prince received Archangel Gabriel's message and frowned slightly. The 12 wings of a dark angel from a universe ruler realm expert were extremely precious. However, he immediately replied, a universe ruler realm dark angel 12 wings in exchange for the help of a powerhouse. It's really hard to invite a powerhouse from the Invincible domain. He spoke calmly and looked at the Aqua Phoenix beside him. Your people are too useless. The Aqua Phoenix swept a glance at him and said plainly, it's not that my people are useless, it's that the Dragon Palace's strength has exceeded our expectations. If nothing goes wrong, it won't be long before the Dragon Palace will have a universe ruler realm powerhouse. The third prince spoke and stared at her. I've already put in a lot of effort. I'm not sure if the heart of light and darkness is inside. Aqua Phoenix, you have to put in some effort. The Aqua Phoenix stared at him and her eyes flickered. I'll find you a powerhouse from the Invincible domain. Who? The third prince stared at her and asked. Tai Shui Demon King. The Aqua Phoenix replied. I've heard of him. All right, is there anyone else? The third prince nodded and continued asking. Those that he had heard of were all top-notch existences in the Invincible domain. No, my people only know this one. The Aqua Phoenix shook her head. All right. The third prince did not make any further requests and nodded. He immediately sent this news to Archangel Gabriel. If the Dragon Palace has a universe ruler realm divine dragon, it'll be good news for us. The atmosphere was silent for a few minutes before the Aqua Phoenix spoke. The fairy race has some connections with the Dragon Palace. The third prince added plainly. The Aqua Phoenix furrowed her brows slightly and did not say anything. All right, our third prince agrees. At the same time, Archangel Gabriel, who was in the Invincible domain, received the third prince's message and replied to the Black Tower Magus. All right. The Black Tower Magus smiled. Which force to destroy? It'll be boring if they're too weak. The Dragon Palace has 2 powerhouses that can instantly kill a third-order universe ruler. I'll continue to invite powerhouses. You're the first, and the Tai Shui Demon King has already agreed. Find another one. Do you have any recommendations? Archangel Gabriel asked him. Oh, they can instantly kill someone of the same level? Interesting, interesting. I'll take one of them. The Black Tower Magus' eyes lit up as he spoke. Chapter 3594, Don't be careless. He does have some ability. He's a very powerful existence in the Invincible domain. I'll at least find another expert of your level. Archangel Gabriel saw the Black Tower Magi's battle intent and reminded them. Hehe, finding 2 is enough. I won't join forces with others to attack an existence of the same level, the Black Tower Magus said indifferently. His words made Archangel Gabriel frown slightly. I'm not afraid of anyone in the same realm. Join forces? Then I, the Black Tower, might as well commit suicide. The Black Tower Magus looked at Archangel Gabriel. If you want to find someone strong, then don't even think about joining forces. Of course, we can still kill a universe dominator. As he spoke, he couldn't help but laugh. His mouth was like a black hole. No teeth or tongue could be seen. It was really strange. Archangel Gabriel's eyes twinkled as he looked at him. He was speechless. Over time, these old fellows who had not broken through all these years had become somewhat perverted. All right. Other than the High Water Demon King, I'm looking for a third-order Sovereign Realm expert who can deal with ordinary Sovereign Realm experts. Do you have any recommendations? Archangel Gabriel looked at the Black Tower Magus and asked. There's an old scholar. He's very strong. He's an expert from the Sage's bloodline. The Black Tower Magus spoke. Then let's go now. Archangel Gabriel looked at him and said. All right. The Black Tower Magus nodded. With a wave of his arm, the fortress behind him closed. His figure flashed, and he flew off with Archangel Gabriel. Why are the Black Tower Magi following this Archangel? I don't know. He must have something important to discuss with the Black Tower. Otherwise, he wouldn't have come. Could it be to deal with those giant star beasts? I don't think so. In the surrounding area, some experts watched as they left and murmured to themselves. The prestige of the Black Tower Magi in this area was very high, and their strength was also unfathomable. This was evident from the fact that it occupied a towering Magus tower. The accomplishments of the Black Tower's Magi were terrifying. Black Tower Magus, tell us about the old scholar's strength. Archangel Gabriel flew beside the Black Tower Magus. Even he had to use all his strength to keep up with the speed of the Black Tower Magus. One could only imagine how deep this old monster's foundation was. Hee, 2 experts from your angel clan died in his hands. One of them seems to be called. Forget it, the name is too long. There's no need to leave his name after his death. The Black Tower Magus said indifferently. Archangel Gabriel raised an eyebrow when he heard that. But at this moment, he suddenly thought of something, and his eyes sparkled. The 2 of them flew quickly in the Invincible domain. After flying for more than a month, they arrived at a relatively brighter area. In front of them, there were many mountain peaks. The trees and grass on the mountain peaks were lush. This was a cosmos god nation left behind by an expert after he died, and now it was completely destroyed. Those mountain peaks were left in a slightly disorderly manner in the void. Faintly, the sound of someone reading came from the surroundings. Among the mountain peaks, there was one that radiated light energy. The mountain looked very ordinary, and one could vaguely see 2 old men sitting there, holding a fan in their hands, sitting in front of a chessboard. They just sat there quietly. If one were to get closer, they would see that the 2 old men looked exactly the same, but one of them had a kind face, and the other had a fierce look on his face. This area was called Book Mountain, and this old man was called the Old Scholar, a famous expert in the Invincible domain. His battle accomplishment was because he killed 2 powerhouses of the Angel clan. Old Scholar, The Archangel of the Angel Clan has come to find you for some matters. You can name the reward. The Black Tower Magus flew over and shouted. Black Tower Magus, you've messed up my chess game. When the old scholar heard the Black Tower Magus voice, the fierce-looking old man stared at him, his eyes filled with violence and killing intent. Hehe, what's the matter? Opposite the fierce-looking old man, the kind-looking old man stood up. The fierce-looking old man strangely fused into his body, and the two became one. The kind-looking old man looked at Archangel Gabriel, smiled, and waved the fan in his hand. However, when Archangel Gabriel saw the fan in his hand, he frowned slightly. The feathers on the fan were the feathers of a pinnacle venerable of the Angel Clan. If this was not the Invincible Domain, the Angel Clan would have sent people to kill him. However, he had killed an expert of the Angel Clan in the Invincible Domain, so the Angel Clan would not bicker with him. This was the rule, and the pinnacle races would not be so petty. Help some high-level races and destroy a faction. You can name the reward. Our third prince will do his best to satisfy you. Archangel Gabriel said directly. I want books that I've never seen before, useful books left behind by a universe ruler. The old scholar heard it. He asked for the reward without any hesitation. Wait a moment. Archangel Gabriel immediately sent this condition to the third prince, and he quickly received a reply. I can satisfy you. Very soon, Archangel Gabriel replied. Hehe, good. I believe that the third prince of the Angel Clan will definitely have the books I need. The old scholar laughed. His request was not simple at all. A book left behind by a universe ruler realm powerhouse wasn't that simple. Alright, after we meet up with the High Water Demon King, we will leave immediately. Archangel Gabriel said directly. The High Water Demon King? That warlike fellow? In the outside world, which high-level race needs the three of us to take action? Is it a powerful faction under that pinnacle race? The old scholar raised his eyebrows and asked. No, it's the Dragon Palace, currently the last powerful faction of the Divine Dragon lineage. They have two very powerful experts in the Dragon Palace. Archangel Gabriel replied. Divine Dragon lineage? The spoils of war will belong to us. If we can use the body of a divine dragon to create a dragon throne, TSK, that's not bad. The old scholar waved the fan made of angel feathers in his hand, and his eyes lit up. If you have the ability to kill that dragon king alone, the corpse is yours. Archangel Gabriel said directly. The experts of the Invincible Domain were very powerful, but he also knew that the Dragon King was not simple. However, inviting the Black Tower Magi, the old scholar, and the High Water Demon King should be enough. All three of them were famous experts in the Invincible Domain. There were not many in the Invincible Domain who could compare to them. The price of inviting them was too high. Even the third prince had to save as much as he could. Chapter 3595. Go and report to Tai Shui Demon King, then we'll leave. Archangel Bai looked at the arrogant old scholar and said. Tai Shui Demon King is in Tai Shui Hall. There's a transfer array here in Book Mountain. Let's go there. The old scholar said faintly as he flew towards the transfer array. Archangel Bai and the rest immediately followed behind, arriving at the transfer array. Wang. After they teleported, they arrived at a rather noisy place. Tai Shui Hall. It was different from the Black Tower and Book Mountain. This place was much more lively. There were many dilapidated palaces floating in the air, and there were many palaces. Around these dilapidated palaces, there were many new palaces, and many beasts were flying around. These beasts were all the descendants of Tai Shui Demon King. In the Invincible Domain, Tai Shui Demon King was an oddity. He loved to fight, and when he fought, he would go crazy. He had once fought with the old scholar. No one knew the outcome, but the experts of the Invincible Domain only knew that both sides had been dormant for hundreds of millions of years. After coming out, Tai Shui Demon King became even more reckless, bringing many female beasts into the Invincible Domain. These female beasts gave birth to many descendants for him. In the Invincible Domain, he was the only one who occupied a domain, and called himself Distant Gaze. At the same time, after not breaking through for a very long time, he started to nurture his descendants with potential. Among his descendants, There were 10 third-order universe sovereigns, and each of them had terrifying strength. In fact, Tai Shui Demon King had a famous son with terrifying strength. He had the battle record of killing 5 third-order universe sovereigns. This caused Tai Shui Demon King's reputation to soar. At the same time, they were shocked at how Tai Shui Demon King had nurtured so many powerful descendants. Archangel Bai, right? Our Tai Shui Demon King invites you over. The moment Archangel Bai and the rest teleported over, a beast flew over and spoke to them. Lead the way. Archangel Bai said faintly. The beast nodded and immediately led the way, flying towards a palace in the center. TSK, in the Invincible domain, only the High Water Demon King would be so high profile, occupying such a large place for himself. Sooner or later, this place of his will be slaughtered. To the side, the old scholar's face suddenly changed. His face looked a lot more ferocious. Haha, who knows, there might be a universe ruler among the children of the High Water Demon King. After all, the chances are higher if there are more of them than us. The Black Tower Magus looked around. In his green eyes, all the demon beasts in the surroundings were filled with dense blood energy. He looked like a demon from hell. As the two of them conversed, they soon arrived before a large hall. Archangel Gabriel, our demon king Tai Shui is inside. Please come in. The demon beast that led them flew to the front of the palace and gestured to them. Archangel Gabriel's expression did not change as he flew forward. Boom. However, just as he passed through a large hall, a terrifying fist came at him. Archangel Gabriel's expression changed when he felt the power of this punch. His 12 wings immediately blocked the front, forming a powerful defense. Boom. The fist landed on the defense of his 12 wings. Archangel Gabriel's body trembled slightly as a trace of seriousness flashed in his eyes. Ha ha ha, as expected of a universe ruler expert. I'm still far from being able to kill him with this punch. At this moment, an arrogant voice came from within the palace. Anger flashed in Great Angel Baal's eyes as he stared ahead coldly. Provoking a universe ruler expert? He could do it in the Invincible domain. His gaze landed on a throne at the end of a long path. An incomparably burly demon beast was sitting there. His head looked like beef and his body was extremely burly. He had a pair of bull horns and his body was flowing with azure blue light. There seemed to be fish scales growing on his face and he looked a little ugly. Let me test your strength and see if you have the qualifications. Archangel Gabriel's eyes flashed coldly. He waved his arm and the 12 wings in his hand formed an incomparably sharp spear of judgment. The spear of judgment attacked the High Water Demon King at a terrifying speed. Apart from not using any primordial cardinal treasure, he did not hold back at all. An all-out attack. Haha, great. The High Water Demon King's eyes were filled with a terrifying battle intent when he saw this terrifying attack. He stretched out his arm and a starry ocean gathered on his fist as he met the spear of judgment. Bang! The spear of judgment collided with his fist and his fist gradually absorbed the spear of judgment. 100 Rivers Fist. Subsequently, the fist disappeared and so did the spear of judgment. Archangel Gabriel's pupils shrunk slightly when he saw this. You're the High Water Demon King indeed, he said in all seriousness. His full-powered attack had been blocked by Demon Monarch Tai Water. This meant that the High Water Demon King's strength was no weaker than his. Hihi, you're the High Water Demon King indeed. You're a double mutated. You're powerful. The sinister half of the old scholar's face twitched and a sound came from his mouth. It's all right. I'll definitely improve before the calamity anyway, the High Water Demon King said confidently as he stared at the old scholar. When the time comes, I'll use you as my stepping stone. Hihi, before the calamity? By then, we'll be on completely different levels. The old scholar calmly said. His face was filled with a strong sense of confidence. He was confident as if he was invincible. High Water Demon King, did you get the news? Archangel Gabriel took a deep breath and asked the High Water Demon King. Yes, I did. Leave the Dragon King to me. We'll fight one-on-one and be dragon slayers. The High Water Demon King licked his lips and said. Hihi, the Divine Dragon Tribe is the overlord of the water and the king of the ocean. Can you do it, High Water Demon King? The Black Tower Wizard looked at the High Water Demon King and said with a smile, "The Divine Dragon Tribe was once the overlord of the ocean. Even the various astral beasts in the ocean of the mountain sea land feared them. In the eyes of the Divine Dragon Tribe, a person like the High Water Demon King was a small fry that was not even worth mentioning. The Divine Dragon Tribe reigned supreme in the Water Tribe. Black Tower Wizard, do you want me to spar with you?" The High Water Demon King stared at the Black Tower Wizard with his eyes shining with battle intent. "If you're able to pay me enough, I'll spar with you." The Black Tower Wizard replied calmly. His green pupils were unusually creepy. Chapter 3596. All right, the two of you, after destroying the Dragon Palace, you can fight as you please. Archangel Gabriel looked at the Black Tower Wizard and High Water Demon King and frowned. At the same time, he was shocked by these old freaks from the Invincible domain. High Water Demon King mutated twice. What did that mean? Mutating once was comparable to a pinnacle race. Mutating twice was equivalent to a mutated expert from the Angel Clan. The Angel Clan was also a mutated expert, known as the Fallen Angels. High Water Demon King mutated twice, which was enough to fight someone of his level. Yet the Black Tower Wizard and the Old Scholar were not afraid of him. One could imagine their strength. Old freaks were indeed old freaks. He had only been stuck at the pinnacle of the universe supremacy realm for a few 100 million years before breaking through. He had never experienced a situation like theirs. He did not expect them to be able to fight him at the pinnacle of the universe supremacy realm. Now he finally understood why this place was called the Invincible Domain. At least for those below the Universe Dominator realm, the Invincible Domain was an invincible existence. The experts here were too terrifying. This reminded him that there were many giant space beasts living in the Invincible Domain. These giant space beasts were not any weaker than them. One could imagine how terrifying these giant space beasts of the Invincible Domain were. "Lead the way. I want to see what kind of experts are out there." High Water Demon King waved his hand and said. He did not take Archangel Gabriel seriously at all. It was just that they were on the same level. Archangel Gabriel also put away his arrogance, nodded, and flew out. "Kids, I'm going to meet some experts outside today. When I come back, I'll bring you some divine dragon meat to try." Ha ha ha. After flying out of the palace, High Water Demon King laughed maniacally. His eyes were filled with madness. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. His voice reverberated through the void. One by one, demonic beasts flew over quickly. Among them, 7 or 8 were emitting terrifying auras. Demon King will return in triumph, slay the enemies, and take their head. Demon King will return in triumph, slay the enemies, and take their head. One by one, the demonic beasts roared loudly. Ha ha ha. High Water Demon King laughed maniacally. He quickly disappeared beside Archangel Gabriel. Lunatics. They seem to be lunatics. They haven't broken through to the universe ruler realm for a long time, causing their minds to go crazy. Such existences will either break through or go crazy. Seeing this, Archangel Gabriel thought to himself. He suddenly remembered something about the Invincible Domain. Before he came here, his father had warned him not to invite some of the madmen in the Invincible Domain. Because they were really crazy. These lunatics could be regarded as a star behemoth. Because their behavior and style were completely like that of wild beast. Now that he thought about it, it was indeed so. The Taishui Demon King wasn't far from that level. Time can wear away anyone. To be able to cultivate to the pinnacle of the universe venerable realm, even if one wasn't exceptionally talented or didn't possess great wisdom. But after reaching this realm, if one didn't break through in 1 billion years, or even 2 billion years, the long river of time would wear away one's wisdom and mind. Either he broke through, or he went crazy. The 2 that he had invited were considered normal, but the one that the third prince had asked him to contact was a little abnormal. Buzz. 4 figures flew rapidly in the Invincible Domain. 1 year later, they flew out of the Invincible Domain. Next, you will assist a few experts from the high-level races to attack the Dragon Palace. 2 of them can instantly kill Third-Order Universe Sovereigns. Your role is to kill them. After flying out of the Invincible Domain, Archangel Gabriel spoke to them. There's no need for assistance. The three of us are enough to destroy them. Taishui Demon King said directly. The other party has two extremely powerful experts and over 50 Third Order Universe Sovereigns. The three of you won't be enough, Archangel Gabriel said directly. Huh. The Black Tower Magus raised his brows slightly when he heard this number. The other party had so many experts, they were indeed not enough. That's simple. I'll challenge the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace. Give me an imprisonment ring, and I'll kill him, Taishui Demon King said directly. Let's move together. Archangel Gabriel looked at him and frowned slightly. He took out 3 feathers and said, "Follow me back to our Radiance God Mountain first, then we'll move." Although Taishui Demon King and the rest were eccentric, they did not reject and directly crushed the feathers. Archangel Gabriel revealed a faint smile as he sent a message to the third prince. The corners of his mouth curved upwards. In the next instant, they disappeared. Soon, their figures appeared on a mountain peak in the Radiance God Mountain. The three of you wait here, Archangel Gabriel said to the three of them as he stood there quietly. Over at the Radiance God Mountain, Taishui Demon King and the rest were very obedient. After all, this was the territory of the peak-ranked races. If they were arrogant, they wouldn't even know how they died. Lord Archangel Gabriel. Soon, the Sacred Dragon King, Shepherd Tribe Leader, Giant of Light Tribe Leader, and all their experts rushed over. This time, all the experts from the 6 major races were here. Among the 6 major races, they had over 120 Third Order Universe Sovereigns. After losing over 50 of them, there were still 71 of them left. This time, not a single one was left. All of them were here, and in their lair, there was an archangel as a guest. With such an expert guarding the place, it couldn't be any safer. Archangel Gabriel looked at them and nodded lightly. At the side, the Black Tower Sorcerer, Taishui Demon King, and the Old Scholar also looked at the Sacred Dragon King and the rest. Similarly, the Sacred Dragon King and the rest also looked at the Black Tower Sorcerer and the rest. Such powerful strength, such a terrifying aura. The Sacred Dragon King and the rest looked over. The Black Tower Sorcerer's eerie green eyes looked at them, causing the Sacred Dragon King to tremble slightly. He sent a voice transmission to the Shepherd Tribe Leader and the rest. The Patriarch of the Shepherd God Tribe and the others nodded in agreement. The strength of these 3 strange experts was extremely terrifying. In fact, their auras weren't any weaker than Archangel Gabriel. Too weak. Taishui Demon King looked at the Sacred Dragon King and the rest and said with contempt, As soon as he finished speaking, a figure slowly appeared in front of them. The figure's aura was slightly revealed. Everyone present felt their breathing stagnate as a terrifying force pressed down on them. Greetings, Third Prince. The Sacred Dragon King, the Shepherd Tribe Leader, and the rest immediately knelt on the ground and greeted respectfully.